Don't try to be like Lost, where you go like, oh, it's all, you don't know what's going on. It's like you're just bullshitting. You don't know what you're doing, and you're. I want answers. I want them.
What's going on, fellas? It's been a long time. How's it going? Well, the bunker.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Retro Rents Retro Gaming Podcast. This is our 58th episode, and I am Al.
And I'm Nick.
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
And surviving the quarantine.
No shit. You know, it's not, I don't know, like, I said it last episode, like, not too much has changed for me being a full-time remote employee. So, like, it works the same. I would say that they're just an amazing company and very, very understanding of the current environment, and if people need to, like, move their schedules around to accommodate kids, or even they've been encouraging us, you know, we have unlimited, you know, flexible PTO, and they were just saying, like, you know, it's there for a reason. Use it if you need a day off, especially in times like this. So it's just cool to be working for a company that is so understanding and actually really cares about their employees.
Yeah, mine's been kind of doing the same thing. Just, you know, flexible hours. You know, obviously things need to get done. You need to make sure they're put in on time. But for the most part, it's like, yeah, if you need like an hour here or there, just to, like, you know, self-care, that kind of thing. They recognize that, you know, it's like, it's, you know, it's always thrown around, but I mean, it's so true. It's unparalleled times. And, you know,
totally.
Even with the capability being remote, there's still like a level of stress. It's just dealing with, you know, all the crazy amount of information coming in and like what's going to happen next, you know, where are we going to be at in a couple of months type of thing. But
yeah, I mean, and you throw in a situation where, again, people that aren't as lucky,
yeah, exactly.
as we are, even timing wise, like this was Paige's, you know, first year of school. She's in kindergarten. She's the only one of my 3 kids that's in school right now. I don't know how the hell we do the remote learning if we had to do like all 3 of them at once. Like that would be one where I'd have to definitely be involved. Like right now, Amber, you know, basically handles school, you know, for Paige, and I come out and help with some of the STEM stuff. Actually, this is what I got to tell you. She calls me out the other day because Paige had this assignment. She goes, This is crazy. She's like, this is beyond me. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, they're coding. I'm like, what? And so, like, I run out, and sure as hell, they're learning, like, basic programming logic.
That's what I've seen from, like, you know, various other people who, you know, also have kids. Like, yeah, it's like this is a thing they're teaching in elementary. Yeah, again, it's a very basic, you know, it's more like, I think it's, what is it, like if and statements essentially?
Yeah,
but
it's like
very
logic.
Simple form.
You know, simple logic statements, if statements, loops. She was doing loops the other day, and how they work. I was like, holy shit! Like that's really amazing. Cool.
So, yeah, back in our day, we were like, you know, it was just math stuff. Like I feel like that was the most advanced thing.
Yeah.
That they taught in elementary schools. It was like various maths and obviously, you know, reading, writing, the arithmetics, you know, sciences, like, you know, dissecting, and, you know, and I remember that. And, like, but I think that went away. Like, I don't think is that still a thing? I feel like that, like some places do like dissect the frog thing, and other places don't.
Well, that I don't think they do that in kindergarten. I think that's a little.
No. That was like,
I think that's a little bit much.
I'm thinking like that's probably like I think it was 6th grade or middle school.
Yeah,
when I did that.
They did it when I was in school. I mean, I don't have any friends with kids that old. Maybe Luke would know if they did that. I just know in fucking college I had to dissect a fetal pig with Dave, and I was in an altered state of mind when we did it, so that was a little fucking crazy, if you want my honest opinion. But yeah, those were long days, long gone. No shit.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you one thing.
I mean,
no, go ahead. No.
I was saying, like, I mean, there's always an evolution to, you know, what is being taught, and, you know, often how it's being taught too.
Sure.
But I know, like, when I was, you know, basically graduating from high school, they started to implement more like the Microsoft Office suite as part of like the curriculum. Like I think it was, I want to say it was my senior year. That was like the first year they did it at the school that I was at, But for like latter ones is like they're going to be able to take it like freshman or sophomore year or something like so. It was like establishing that and crazily enough, like what you're saying like makes sense. Or it's like at an early age they start learning about programming because programming is so pervasive in
it's
today's
integral
culture.
in everything. And like, I mean, Christ, you remember when I started school, I want to say it was like when I was in first grade, I remember our classroom, because, again, you have to think back, but Apple Incorporated, had a deal in the country. I think they still do. I think this is still valid. Where,
the education thing or grant or whatever specifically it was called.
Yeah, for schools that want to take advantage of it, they'll basically give any school free Macintoshes for teaching purposes. And
like back in our day, it was like what, the Apple II, I think it was.
It started with the Apple II, yeah. And then I remember when we got the first set of Macintoshes, I think I was in maybe third grade, and like we had classes on how to use the mouse, like because it was brand new. Apple was the first one to have a widely used mainstream mouse. I mean, granted, Microsoft was around the same time with Windows as well, but just remember in school, that's what we had. We had Macs to learn on. It's just crazy how far it's come.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But funny enough, like I remember the Apple II thing, because the thing is, people know me, I was a military brat, so we moved all over the place. So some schools had different stuff than others wherever we happened to move to. But the Apple II was always kind of like one of those staples that wherever you went, it was always there, and they always had Oregon Trail.
I was about to say, every fucking school had Oregon Trail. And you were racing to get your shit done so you could run to the back of the room.
Like, that's exactly what it was. Because like, if you had any time of like free time with the computer, it was like, you can play Oregon Trail. Or free time. Let's go get dysentery.
And let me tell you what, I had that fucking game down to a science. I could beat that game in about the 25 spare minutes that we had. Oh, too funny, man. I'll tell you something else I'm seeing today that I have not seen in probably 2 weeks. The fucking sun.
Oh, I know, right? We've had so much like rain and just overcast past couple of weeks.
It's been crazy. I was busted on my one coworker who lives over in the UK, and I was like, he's in the middle of a meeting, and he just turns his laptop. He's like, I think I might go finish the day out in the garden. And it's like, sunny in his backyard. I'm like, you know what? You could send my weather back, and you could take your shit weather, because that's all I've had for 2 weeks. But, oh, man, it's just nice. Like, as soon as we're done here, I'm going to go out and run around with the kids and just get some sunshine, man. It feels like it's been forever.
I know, right? I think I'm going to go for the walk around the park.
Yeah. So what have you been playing this past 2 weeks?
So playing a lot of Predator Hunter Grounds.
I gotta fucking get back into that.
Oh man, it's so good, so good. Having so much fun with that. Like binged opening weekend, which was last weekend, I think it was.
Yeah.
Went crazy with it. Had a ton of fun. They've added a few more things since beta, or at least things you can now play. They all the classes are unlocked. I can't wait to see what their planned content is, because they did tease I think something in about a month or so we're going to see their first like content update or whatever. But since then they've already like done some balance patches, so like it seems like they're Ilphonics all over in terms of like making sure the game is not only up and running but kind of balancing the fire team versus Predator dynamic that's going on. And awesome. Still a ton of fun. It's just good. It's good fun. I also ended up watching a lot of all the Predator movies.
I gotta get me in on that. I haven't seen one of those in a long time.
Oh, classics.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna. I have to jump in on that with you. Maybe I'll play tonight. I haven't played it pretty much since release. I played a little bit, but I just keep getting sidetracked by other shit.
I hear that. So, but yeah, playing that and also playing actually jumping back into Hitman 2 a little bit.
Oh yeah, that was in
World's Worst Assassin.
Oh yeah, that was last month's bundle. I think I got that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, they knocked it out of the park with the first one, so I imagine this one's just as good.
Oh yeah, it's that whole again, you can kind of choose how you want to play out the assassination. And I just love the versatility of it. Obviously, like the first time you play, it's a little rough because you have to learn the map and you're kind of restricted in like kind of what you can do.
Yeah,
like
you're
once you
gonna
have things
suck.
unlocked, then you can start stashing stuff. You can start having different exit points and entry points. And it's like it's just a whole dynamic of fun.
Yeah, it's a great game. It's a great game that really nails like the, if you want to be a James Bond style hitman, like that's the game to play. Although he kills more than Bond did. He pretty much kills all the time in very creative ways. I think it was the first Hitman game, the new one. It was like I was breaking into this like fancy ass party, and I posed as a bartender, and I made like the target like his favorite drink, and I poisoned it. And,
yes.
It's like, wow, like what a cool creative way to go about it. I don't know. There's like 6 different ways you could do it, and I thought that sounded cool, so that's what I did.
Yeah, the particular mission I was doing, there was like a photo, video, music video shoot or something like that, and they had a wind fan on the roof. So you can actually mess with the settings and turn it into like high power mode and blow off the roof. Like, yes!
Oh, that's awesome.
I will take that option.
I will blow everybody off of the roof.
So what about yourself?
So I've been kind of diving back into some retro inspired stuff, and then some stuff that I've been hooked on forever that I keep going back to. But I picked one up that Brandon had recommended in the save point called Star Traders Frontiers.
Okay.
It was an insta buy the second, like, 'cause he doesn't really rave about games if ever, and he just posted, hey Al, this is my new Pirates Gold, and I mean, if anybody who heard our early episodes, we did a whole month of playing Pirates Gold, and it's one of my favorite games. So it was one of those like, all right, that's all I needed to hear, and I started playing that, and I probably sunk at least 20 hours into it, and it is a great game. It very much like Pirates kind of offers you the freedom to play how you want. There's a pretty cool storyline to follow, and there's like there's a few different characters to play as initially, and they each kind of have their own story thread, and you can unlock more as you do well in the game. I'm still playing on the first character I chose, and I've probably got like years of game time in at this point, and I'm like like incognito supporting these houses during a big trade war and stuff, and it's just natural stuff that springs up in the events of the game, and I just wanted to like get good with this faction so I could buy their better ships. The ship combat's real neat. It's very turn-based, kind of strategic, a little inspired by Faster Than Light, but you don't have like the little little guys running around or anything like that.
Okay.
You kind of manage your reactor points, and then you select your weapons, and then you can close in and board if you want, and then the crew combat in the game, whether you're boarding ships or exploring planets, is very much like what the hell is that game? The dark gothic game where like your men can go crazy. Darkest Dungeon. Darkest Dungeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very reminiscent to that, where you have like different positions and skills work in certain positions. You have 4 crew that combat at once. It's a lot of fun. It's something I could see you getting really into, just based on the games that you like. And
yeah,
I think,
looking over this is like, yeah, this is looking right up my alley. I see what you're saying about it. It's kind of like a Sid Meier's Pirates-esque.
Yeah, it's very
just like free form.
Yeah, very piratey in the freedom of it, and a little Mountain Blade in there as well, with like the different factions and like the people you could support, and it's really cool. And a little bonus tip: it's by the same gang that's doing that Cyber Knights that we backed.
Oh, really? Oh, it's the same people.
It's the same people, and I'll tell you what. If they put as much passion into Cyber Knights as they did this game, like they do content updates for this game almost every 2 weeks.
Wow.
And this game's been out since like 2018. Like out of early access. So if they're that dedicated, man, Cyber Knights is going to be fucking bomb.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it's absolutely worth a grab. It's cheap, and you'll get hours of fun out of that game. And the randomness is like everything's randomized on the initial, start of the game, so everything can be different the next time you play. And it's very, very well done, and it's very addicting. So I've been playing that. And yesterday, released on Game Pass, or maybe it was the day before, but I played it yesterday, Streets of Rage 4. Going back to the retro roots. It's on PC and Xbox Game Pass, and it's one of the few Play Anywhere games where it's like you could play, a few levels on your computer, your game will save, and then if you go play on the Xbox, you're using the same save. So that's awesome. As far as the game itself, it's great. It's more Streets of Rage. I would say they didn't, necessarily change much. But I would say with that series, you didn't need to. I mean, it was just a classic, very well done beat 'em up. And it's made exactly the same way. You got good music. They got really cool comic book style cutscenes at the end of each stage. It's very challenging. And there's a bunch of extra stuff to it after you beat the story mode. There's like Battle Arena, and you can play co-op with friends. And it looks you can either do couch co-op or you can do online. There's a lot to it that I haven't found yet. I think I'm about ready to beat the story mode. I think I made it to the last stage last night. At least it feels that way because it is continually kicking my ass. But yeah, I'm gonna keep at it. It's very well done. The graphics are great. Keeps the same comic book style. And if you liked, you like the old school beat 'em ups like the Ninja Turtle arcade game or Streets of Rage, it's a no-brainer if you got Game Pass. Pick it up. It's great.
Nice.
And then finally, I've been diving back into Warhammer 40K Inquisitor Martyr. That's another really dedicated team. I think it's with Neocore. I forget the name of the team, but they continue to add content to that. They do all kinds of events, and it's just fun. It's a fun action RPG, kind of Diablo in the Warhammer 40K universe. And there's something great about it because it keeps me coming back to it. I have over 60 hours on PC, and I also have a copy of it on Xbox. That it's great. Oh, and that's what it was. It's going to be coming out on Games with Gold at the middle of this month. So if you have Xbox Live Gold, that is absolutely worth a pickup. It's a really fun game. Once you kind of get used to its mechanics and the cover mechanics, it's a great time. And that's pretty much it. I mean, that's what I've been playing. And again, I can't recommend all three of these highly enough. Star Traders especially, I think, was such a nice little surprise, doubly so when I realized it was the same development group that's doing Cyber Knights, which just looks incredible. So yeah, other than that, I guess we'll move on to some release highlights. I'll let you take this away because I did not do my homework for the agenda.
Luckily, I got some notes here. So some stuff that came out, a lot of surprise hits. It feels like some of them came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Either just didn't make my radar, or just I think they were running stealth mode. But one that's kind of popped out of nowhere is called SnowRunner. It's basically a trucking game. Now the thing is, this usually doesn't tickle my fancy.
Wow,
the American
really
trucker,
high.
European trucker, where it's okay, you're just driving around doing whatever. But SnowRunner is a little different. It's kind of I say quasi open world. You can kind of drive your trucks wherever you like. But there are mission objectives. It's go up this mountain and save this crew, or build this bridge, or do this,
Wow.
this, that, and the other. And so and you can buy upgrades to your truck, like winches and better suspension, snow tires, things like this. And it's actually looking like a lot of fun. I haven't picked it up yet, but it's ooh, I might have to check this out because it looks a little off. I say off standard than your usual trucker game.
Yeah, it looks like it's got what I would consider lovable jank.
Yeah.
Let me see. I feel like I have this. Or did I have it?
Well, it just came out. So either you just got it, or
or maybe it was a game made by the same people like Mud Runner or something like that.
I think there is another one in the series or something like that, so it wouldn't surprise me. I haven't done that much, history research into this because again, it just suddenly like started popping up on all my feeds and people started playing like, what is this thing? Like, oh, okay, this is interesting.
All right, it's not on Steam, so it's got to be an Epic exclusive.
Yeah, I think it's on the Epic Store right now. I don't know if it's on any consoles, but
I would think so because I saw a review like saying that the PC release has gotten some patches. So I figure it's on one of the consoles. Oh, speaking of which, free games on the Epic Store right now: Crashlands and Amnesia: The Dark Descent, which is a fantastic game if you've never played that. That's a very Lovecrafty kind of horror game. Very neat.
Indeed. And also things coming out of nowhere. XCOM has released a new game.
Oh yeah, Chimera Squad.
Chimera, exactly. And like that seriously came out of nowhere because usually like games like XCOM, like you'll see it like coming kind of down the road. Like we knew XCOM 2's like well on the way,
like major fanfare.
Yeah, and like seriously, like I don't think we even saw anything at like E3 or any trade show stuff. Or
we didn't see anything at PAX. I don't remember seeing anything for that.
Nothing. And then like I think it was around 2 weeks ago. I think the game came out last week, basically the same time as Predator.
Right.
And I think about a week or two before, it's suddenly like boom, here's XCOM Chimera coming out. And we're like, what? I've picked it up. I haven't had time to play. I want to play it soon. But basically, it's kind of a refined XCOM experience. So you remember the traditional XCOM is like basically you do your team, and then the aliens take their turn and whatnot. Well, apparently with this one, you're playing a very tight squad. So you no longer have like a huge XCOM army, if you will.
Okay, so it's like a pre-made squad kind of deal.
Yeah, it's like pre-made. So it's a very tight experience, a little more story driven, and it's you have one person on your side take a turn, and then one of the aliens takes their turn. So it's a very much like back and forth, kind of almost more chess moves than necessarily team based move turns.
That's very interesting.
And it is I've watched already some gameplay, and it's a lot. I feel like it's a lot faster back and forth because of that. But yeah, it looks great. I mean, it's got that classic XCOM feel to it.
Interesting.
So yeah, I can't wait to dive into that. Hopefully soon. I've got like some things in my backlog. Another thing on here, 3.9 for Star Citizen has dropped to live, so that's the prison system is now in.
Okay.
So I'm probably gonna be checking that out tomorrow. Gonna do some Star Citizen tomorrow, but I'm thinking maybe like Tuesday or something. I'll check out XCOM.
The prison system, is that like where all the backers go when they start asking when the game's gonna get done? I'm gonna bust balls on that until it releases. I'm sorry.
Nothing wrong with that. Just do it.
I mean, because look, I backed it the other day after you and I talked about it. It was like, I don't know, about a month ago now. I did wind up going to grab it, but I have some complaints already. For one, it forced me to install it on my fucking C drive.
No, you should be able to choose the drive that it goes on, because I have it on my D drive.
I have to double check. I had like a 50 gig file for it on my C drive, and I was pretty sure, because I never put games on there, because that's my solid state system drive.
Right.
So whatever. I'll look at it again.
You should be able to change it. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I'll take the next one because I did play this a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Only 5 minutes, mind you. I knew this was coming out. Microsoft has been touting this for quite a while. They showed it at E3, and that's Gears Tactics. Again, an exclusive title, which I know a lot of people like myself would love to see on the Xbox and Microsoft environment. But it's an exclusive title, and they put it on Game Pass. And they've been doing this with every Microsoft Studios published game or games published by the studios that they purchased over the past 2 years. And it's very similar to the XCOM, tactical format. But it combines, and again, I'm going to play more of this tonight, actually, because I really like the premise of it. It combines the cover system that, Gears is very well known for, and it makes it work. I watched a couple of reviews. I played it, like I said, for about 5 minutes, and it was one of those, like, I'll play a quick, thing of it, and then I'm like, all right, wait, this is going to be a really deep fucking game, and I got to really sink some time into it. So I pushed it off till tonight. But what I played and what I've heard so far is that it's a pretty solid title. From my perspective, I'm always happy to get more of these action, turn-based strategy games. I love these. I could play these all day.
Oh yeah, like I seriously feel like XCOM obviously has played a huge part in this genre. Like,
hell
like,
yeah!
If anything, it's the staple. And dare I say, probably the gold mark standard. I think. For
I would say so.
Time.
It's something that it doesn't matter what game it is, what the content is. Anytime there's a game that's a turn-based like strategy tactics game, it's immediately compared to XCOM if it's on PC.
Yeah. But it's like, it seems like I don't know. It's like there's these weird waves of like the industry kind of doing this, and so now we're. I remember them showing us the E3, but it fell off my radar for the longest time, and all of a sudden it's like oh, release date's here. I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's another one. It's like yes, I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this one too. I definitely want to be checking this out as well. But like like we saw at PAX, where like Cyberknights is doing their kind of like XCOM like thing.
Oh, that game looks so fucking good.
Thing. So it's like yes, give us more of this because it's like I enjoy my FPSs and whatnot, but there's also times where like I like to be able to like lean back in the chair and be the thinking man's game.
Yeah,
and,
be the general.
Kind of, like move the chess pieces around type of thing.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, man, it's like oh, fuck, what was I going to say? I like totally blank. But no, okay, what you're getting at, I totally agree with. I feel like we, thanks to CD Projekt Red, with kind of taking that big step of doing a major title release that's a cyberpunk game, and I think it's very obvious the amount of anticipation that game has right now. Like, there's a love for this genre, and it's very, very underserviced. Like even the Shadowrun games that came out, they're interesting. They kind of take some inspiration from XCOM. I like them, but I don't know. Like I was really spoiled with the Sega Genesis Shadowrun game, which was very open world, and like you could just go hack the Matrix and sell data for money. I don't know. It was simple, but I've always looked for that experience in a Shadowrun game ever since, and I just haven't found it. But but other than that, like. It looks like we're getting like this whole wave of cyberpunk right now, and I'm just loving every second of it, man.
Absolutely, yeah, and I can't wait till because it's always weird because like we feel like we're in this weird time warp because of the COVID stuff, but I also cannot wait till around September when we get cyberpunk. Hopefully, this doesn't delay it more, but yeah, I'm still looking forward to that.
I can't wait for that game, man. It's CDPR, and at this point in my eyes, they can't go wrong. So please don't fucking pull a BioWare on me, or I'll throw myself through plate glass. Like, you're my last bastion of hope. But, yeah, another game coming out at the end of the month, and I just have to mention it because no matter how many times I've told my daughter it comes out on May 27th, she asks me every day, because you could pre-download it via Game Pass, if Minecraft Dungeons is out yet. She's
yeah, that's that. Yeah, okay.
Diablo.
How does it work? Yeah. They debuted that at E3. Yeah, it was like Diablo-esque Minecraft thing. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks great. So they let you preload it, and then this really sucked. The other day, it was like Minecraft Dungeons is ready to play. I was like, what the fuck? Did they do a COVID surprise? Like it's early release? And I clicked on it, and all it did was bring you to the store page to watch the video, the intro video. But now my daughter, every goddamn, well, could you just check? Like, it's not coming out till the 27th, but just check. Just check. Like, oh my God, I'm like, you guys are already getting me back in the primitive mind state of eating my own young. But yeah. But anyway, so that's coming out. So I want to keep that on everybody's radar because, believe it or not, it looks really fun. It looks really fun. All right. Let us move on to news. Oh, yeah. Item number 1 right there, baby. Holy shit. I think everybody at this point, it's been, 2 days, and if you haven't seen it, your internet's not working. Ubisoft did the big trailer reveal for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Holy shit. They're saying holiday 2020. I don't fucking believe a word of it.
This felt like it came out of nowhere all of a sudden because they didn't talk about anything at E3 in terms of a new Assassin's Creed. I think we knew that they were working on one, but
but we didn't know what it was.
No subject, no time frame, no nothing. All of a sudden,
they did that with Odyssey, though. They did that with Odyssey. Yeah, they announced Odyssey, and it was out like maybe 6 months later. And I remember,
I thought that showed up at least at E3. I thought, or maybe I'm confusing. You know what? I'm thinking of it was that first
Origins
Microsoft game. No. It wasn't even an Assassin's Creed. It was a Roman thing. Like not Rift.
Rise.
Yeah,
Son of Rome.
With a Y.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. Never mind. Okay,
that game was.
Yeah,
okay.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think Odyssey was another where they just kept the lid on it for so long, and yeah, you're right. And it was like a 6 month heads up, and then boom, it's there.
And let's face it, like we were talking about on the save point with a few people with the Valhalla trailer reveal. I think it was my buddy Mike, and he was saying that like Odyssey is one of the best games ever made, hands down. Totally agree with him. It's another game I have, according to my Xbox, like over 200 hours in, and I still haven't beaten it because it's one of those games where the world is so beautifully designed, so perfect, and so vast that like you just want to see it all. Like there's islands you would never go to in the main story, but it's like fuck it, I'm going there anyway.
Sure.
And it's just so I'm very excited. I know we've talked about this a lot on the show. I'm sure the two of us. I mean, I love Norse mythology. I love God of War 4, or God of War on the PlayStation. Anything Norse mythology, I'm all in on, and I can't wait to play it, man. It looks great. I mean, I don't put much stock in release dates right now with the whole C-19 thing, but maybe they are close. Maybe they're close to getting it done, and it'll be out, holiday season. That would be awesome.
I mean, and holiday gives them. It's actually quite a wide berth. I mean, things have been labeled holiday, and it arrives like December 24th.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's what I'm anticipating. I figure they're going to take every day that they can. I'm going to definitely make use of my company's flexible PTO. I'm already planning on doing a nice 2-week vacation for the holidays this year. And that is one of the things I'll be doing constantly is playing Valhalla.
Now, I'm curious, because obviously this is just a cinematic trailer, so there was no gameplay.
No gameplay shown.
Setups, I say almost identical in tone and whatnot to what we got with like Assassin's Creed 3, with the hero fighting like the British during the Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
Kind of. That's what it like keenly reminded me of. It was kind of like we got this battlefield scene, in the trailer, and it's like okay,
like
this
big
is
armored guy.
Yeah, I think it was 3. 3 was the Revolutionary War.
Yeah,
right?
3 was the
Yeah. And we kind of got a little bit of 4/Odyssey with the boat, the Viking longboats.
Black Flag.
So I'm curious, are we going to get like Viking longboat play? Because that always seems to be kind of a staple people really latch onto and enjoy, both from obviously that was a core component of 4
and Odyssey.
I think it was a pretty
big part of Odyssey.
Big core, okay, because I knew it played heavily in Odyssey, but I didn't know how much.
I would say equally to Black Flag. I mean, there's shipboarding and.
And it makes sense for like kind of like the Viking mythos / history, where it's like they would it looks like it's like the invasion of England.
The
late stage England. I think there was an article they mentioned. Yeah, so like I say England, but it's early Britain.
Mercia.
Yeah, so this is where the names are failing me now, but basically the Britons, which are kind of former, that's the last vestiges of the Roman Empire, are in the south essentially, and then the
Mercia,
north is where the
Welsh.
Yeah, it's like the Welsh and what was it? I can't remember.
The north would be the Picts, the Scottish, the Picts.
No, they didn't call that. I'd have to look it up. But like it was kind of like
Northampton. Northumbrians?
I think so. I think that's what it is. Yeah. So it's like that there's a civil war going on, and obviously the Vikings are also coming in, during that time period too.
Yep.
So it's kind of sets up a kind of a really nice stage for
faction conflict. Hopefully,
game. Yeah. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with it. It definitely has my interest. I'm off and on with Assassin's Creed sometimes because it's like I really enjoyed the hell out of 4. I think I got to get around and play Odyssey because
you have to play Odyssey.
It's like it's so good. So I got to check it out at some point. Hopefully, actually, I think I caught it on a discount somewhere. There's like a discount on Odyssey right now. So
Odyssey,
maybe I'll pick it up cheap.
You would love it. Odyssey takes it in the direction the series really needed to go in, where they barely touch on the modern day shit anymore. It might be a 2-minute portion of the game, that's it.
Because that was it was like that, and the convoluted, spoiler alert, for anyone who's not ever played an Assassin's Creed ever, there's this weird future. I don't know if you call it alien, but it seems like some kind of like future alien plot thread that goes on, and they'll break the fourth wall. Like I thought it was novel when it first happened. Like I think in 1 and 2 is where it kind of first started to happen.
Yeah,
where you'd be talking to like a hologram or something. It's kind of like future aliens, type of dealio going on, and they'll break the fourth wall and talk to you, the player. And at the time, I was like, "Whoa, what's going on?"
Yeah, it was cool.
But then they kept doing it, and it's like they kept beating the dead horse, and it was so convoluted and obtuse in terms of like, "Ooh, we've got this master story, and you don't know what's going on, but we're gonna speak in vague."
Yeah, it'll be very vague with jargon, lots of jargon.
This is bullshit. Come on, just get to an actual like meaty plot for me to sink my teeth into. With at least the future portion, because otherwise it's just it felt so stupid after a while, and that's what I think it was by 3 I didn't play. I watched Let's Plays and I was like, okay, I got the gist of it. The Victorian England one, that was like another one where it's like I can't get into this. What is this?
Yeah, no, I wasn't. I couldn't get into Syndicate. I tried,
but I hope it's like either give me a straight enough don't go, that's what it is. Don't go the Lost route. Don't try to be like Lost where you've got like, oh, it's all you don't know what's going on. It's like you're just bullshitting. You don't know what you're doing, and you're just making you think you're like.
And I think that's like
and you're dragging us along for the ride.
I think that's why it worked for the time, because I think when the first one came out, Lost was still going and everybody was kind of into that. But what I like, the other thing about Odyssey, and Origins is the same way, the one that takes place in ancient Egypt, they completely changed the control scheme. Odyssey, I think, is the perfection of not just Assassin's Creed control schemes, but action game control schemes. It controls perfectly. But once you play Odyssey, it is difficult to impossible to go back and play other Assassin's Creed games before it.
Okay.
Because the controls suck. And you realize how much they suck when you play Odyssey, and they're so perfect and so seamless and so, just such a masterclass on how to have controls in a game. But yeah, I mean, obviously, what I'd like to see is similar to what they did in Odyssey, where they actually combined a lot of the mythos, the Greek mythos, like Atlantis. There's an Atlantis section in that if you have the DLC. There's, fights with mythological creatures at certain points, and that's what I want to see in Valhalla.
Oh, yeah. I
mean, we'll talk about that with the question of the bye week, because one of our save pointers and a friend from the Everyday Gamers hit the nail on the head of exactly the kind of stuff I would love to see at some point in Valhalla, but we'll talk about that when we get there. All right, so that was Valhalla. Take away on the next one on the Ubisoft stuff.
So hopefully this gets out relatively soon, but if you are listening to this and it's before May 5th, you can get in, go on to Ubisoft, go into your Ubisoft account, and you can get 3 free games. So you can play Assassin's Creed 2. Highly recommend it. 1 and 2 are still one. It's like 1, 2, 4, Odyssey, or like the staples that you need to play in terms of Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, totally.
So 2 is free, and that's I think it's the Italian one. Yeah.
Yep, Ezio.
And
Ezio
so
Auditore.
as long as you activate it before May 5th, you will have it free forever. Also, 2 more games, Rayman Legends
Solid
and
game.
Child of Light.
Very
so
solid.
Definitely
games.
like jump on there, get some free games. I mean, who doesn't like free games?
Yeah, for real. They're solid titles too. I mean, ACT you already talked about. Rayman Legends is a great platformer. And Child of Light was a great platformer too. Beautiful game, graphically, very, very pretty game. So yeah,
Absolutely.
totally check it out. This next one shocks me, dude.
Yeah, I certainly didn't expect it to happen this soon.
Yeah, that seems very
but
soon.
Add this to under stupid decisions by EA. I don't know. But Battlefield 5 basically released barely a year ago. I think it launched in May or was it April?
It's not an old game.
No. Oh, the reveal. Okay, so the reveal trailer was May 23rd of 2018.
Holy shit!
And let's see if I can pull up a wiki thing here quick.
Wow!
There we go. And let's see, released released in November of 20. Okay, so no, I'm sorry, it wasn't a year. So we're in 2020. So barely a year and a half at most. But EA will no longer be supporting Battlefield 5. Now they're not. I don't think they're shutting down servers.
No, they're not shutting down, but they're not doing any more updates.
Yeah, no more updates, no more mainline support, and then also alongside it, Battlefront 2.
That is a shocker.
Just got announced as well. Because Battlefront 2 really, I think I felt with that one, they swung that one around. Like it had a really rough start. It had the crazy loot box, fiasco, whereas like Darth Vader unlocks in 40 hours or something like that, or buy our crazy loot box. And they backed off quickly with that, and it felt like it was going into gaming hell, but then really turned it around. They've been having a ton of events and whatnot.
And they're fun. I've been playing a bunch, like every now and then I'll pop that on. And there's a big community for that still.
Yeah, huge community, and I'd say it's kind of tied into with the LucasArts stuff. Obviously, the most recent and last season of Clone Wars has just come out, so that's invigorating a lot of people to probably go and play that as well. But apparently they're also removing or that's pulling. Bizarre. I say pulling support, but again, like servers are still online, but no more updates going forward. So they have like community event stuff, weekly, kind of the usual like little community things throughout the week. But no major updates going forward. So it's like, wow,
that's very bizarre.
Year and a half for I think for about both of them, because I think they both came around at the same time.
They did.
And I feel that's incredibly short.
It does feel very short, especially for a Star Wars game.
Yeah, Star Wars. Well, even Battlefield, because I mean, I think 4 isn't getting any more updates either. I mean, obviously it's still going, but it's just like, man, it's just like,
I don't know, dude.
Pulling the plug already. Like the question is, what do they have on? Like, what are they working on next? Are they gonna pump out like a Battlefield 6?
Yeah, what I read just now. I just read on Engage it. It looks like they're focusing resources on the next Battlefield, which is due. What did they say? Coming to the new Battlefield that will be bringing to players in 2021. So I mean, it's on the horizon, I guess, but.
But I thought it was incredibly short. Like I'd have to, I didn't do that much research and just find out how long the other Battlefields went. But I felt like they went at least 2+ year, maybe 3.
Yeah, I felt like they went a lot longer.
Before pulling support type of thing. But man, I don't know, it just feels incredibly fast, and I don't know. It's weird because again, I think I felt like Battlefront 2 survived a lot better than what Battlefront 1 did.
Hell yeah!
Because that was so rough. Like there was no single player campaign whatsoever to it. It was very rushed out the door. I felt like it had multiplayer stuff to it, but it was very rushed. To coincide with the movie release at the time. Yeah, I think it was the first. The Force Awakens. Of the new trilogy at the time. you know, and like, you know, I didn't pick up Battlefront 2, but I ended up watching it and like, wow, they actually, I felt like they turned around. They had I thought a solid single player campaign to it. It's like, yes, this should have been in the first one type of thing. And like, you know, again, like I think we've talked about it before off and on the cast where it's like, it's popped up on our radar where it's like, they have these cool events going on. And you know, I think it was just the either last one or one before that where we were talking about the, community manager was promoted to producer. Well, producing nothing. or maybe he's working on the next one.
That's
and
right.
Like, and it's like, what the hell's going on? It's like, yeah, it's like, I don't know what the situation is, but now, you know, in hindsight, it feels like, okay, you were promoted to the captain of the sinking ship.
Yeah, like, oh, good for you. Oh, by the way, we're pulling the plug in a little while, but good job, good job. No, that's honestly probably why they did it, because they wanted to reallocate internal resources. This person probably has a ton of passion for it, so they're probably not taking a big paycheck, and they'll just run the events, you know, until they unplug the servers. But fucking hey, that seems short. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Very weird. All right, we'll move on to the save point game of the month. I've decided just now is going to be Star Traders Frontiers, because it's probably what I'm going to be playing.
I think I've got to pick that up and try that out because it looks good, and it's only like what, $15 on Steam, so that's not too bad.
Yeah, say goodbye to your the rest of your day.
One of those, one more turn.
It's good. It's good. I know you'll like it. So yeah, get it in there. All right, let's move on to the question of the bye week, which I did not update in here, so I got to pull up the save point quick because I had it on there. La 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 la. Where are you? Okay, question of the bye week that I asked last night. Where the hell did it go? Here we go. With the announcement of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, what is something you're hoping to do in the game from Norse mythology? The save point, we got a reply from Eric, AZ Rockslide over at the Everyday Gamers. He said, 2 things come to mind. Fight Fenris. Seriously, can you imagine what a battle against that mythical wolf would be like? It would be awesome, considering Fenris is giant. I'd love to see that. And then he said, and then number 2, battle Loki. Honestly, I want the lead villain to be Loki or influenced by the trickster god. And now, I'm not talking about Marvel Universe or MCU or Marvel Loki, though I love that character in the films. No, I know what he's getting at. He's talking the real Loki. The batshit crazy, currently imprisoned under the mouth of Jormungandr, where he is constantly getting drip-fed the world serpent's poison. Yeah, and he's batshit crazy from it. So, yeah, I mean...
I'm curious how they're going to do it, because I don't know, maybe you can speak a little to Odyssey without being too spoilery, but I mean, all the Assassin's Creed, 1, 2, 3, 4, it was always like, it's always the Assassins versus Templars, and there's no real like gods or anything that like that play into it, more like they kind of dabble in terms of like the perceived like from like 1 and 2, it's you're kind of chasing down like these more Christendom versus relics type of thing, kind of Indiana Jones style, and you're coming across like these kind of future aliens that are I say future aliens. I mean, they could be human. They again, it's never specified. I don't think in any Assassin's Creed as to what it is.
You need to play Odyssey.
Does Odyssey answer those? I want answers. I want the truth.
Well, not answers. Not so much answers to that. Like I said, the Odyssey and Origins did a bit, but Odyssey didn't really touch too much on the modern mythos. It's a very light portion of the game. Okay. But there are plenty of mythological creatures and elements at points in the game. Like I said, there's an Atlantis section, which is awesome.
Because like you're saying, like it's like that's playing into that the mythology of the Greek mythology, like it's like do you fight like Minotaur? You don't have to answer this until I play it or whatever. It's like, but things like that. So it's like it's like when you're talking Viking stuff, it's like it's like, and especially comments like that, it's like how will they deal with, because there's a whole pantheon of gods in that case. Whereas, like, in 1, 2, I think up through 4, like, 4, I think they drop more the religious aspect to it, and it's basically like 1 through really 1 and 2, I guess, is probably the more religious
1, 2,
stuff.
and 3. 3 had a bit of the
3 had a bit too. Okay,
the Templar stuff. Yeah,
but you're dealing with like singular figures more or less with that. Whereas, you jump into Atlantis and or not Atlantis, but Odyssey, and you're dealing with the Greek pantheon. With Valhalla, you definitely have the Norse pantheon. So it's like, how will they approach Loki? Like, I mean, it's a perfectly rich material. Like, is this like a trickster? Future alien, I'm gonna use that term. I don't know if it's the right one, but I'm using that in terms of like, it's like, is he a trickster? Kind of like, is he like the bad guy of these future aliens? And then is Odin, the quote unquote good guy of these future alien type of thing going on? Like, what is the deal?
I would say if they go in the direction that Odyssey did, it won't be future aliens or anything like that. It'll just be like actual mythological influence. It's hard to say. Like, Origins had these things where, like, there were these tears that you could investigate. And when you went in, like, in Origins, I was fighting this, like, giant snake Anubis. Like, it was as big as a room.
Ooh.
And, like, so there's lots of that. I don't know. I feel like with the positive reception that Odyssey has, they're going to continue in that direction. And add more of the mythological element to that world. Like, Odyssey, it really felt like to me, they were just like, you know what, we just want to make a fucking Greek mythology game. And, fuck the visitors or whatever the hell those things were.
Right.
And that feels like the direction the series is kind of going. But we'll see. All right, so let's move on to voicemails. We got a voicemail for that question of the bye week. And we have 2, though I think they're from the same person, so we know who this must be. Hold on 1 second, and here we go.
What's going on, fellows? It's been a long time, has it not? We're all in the bunker, fast on our toilet paper, our rice and beans, just taking it easy. Yeah! Glad to see the bye week question of the bye week. That hasn't been a bye week for a bye week until a few bye weeks ago, but we're back with the bye week question.
No, you just missed them, Fred.
Ooh, feels good to be on the saddle, does it not? Moseying down the road on a horses, yeah. Anyway, it's about the Vikings, man. I love it. This is what I would want. I'd line up right behind the quarterback. I'd stare him in the eyes when he hiked that ball. I'd go busting through that offensive line.
Fred.
I'd slam that quarterback down to the ground, cause a fumble, pick up the ball, run into the end zone, and listen to the crowd go wild. Oh, wait a minute. You're not talking about the Minnesota Vikings, are you? Oh, sorry.
No.
Okay, I'll cut that out. Don't make all that look like another show. Cut this out. Cut. Let's start all over. Al, just end the call now, Al. Let's just start over. Okay. Vikings game. I got you. The real Vikings. The savage Vikings. The blood-eating Vikings. The Vikings that ate other people's children for breakfast pastries. Yeah, Vikings! Attack! Huh.
This quarantine's got to end soon, and we're going to lose Fred.
On the field.
I think we've already lost
trusty
him.
wooden shield, the round thing with the markings on it. Blood dripping down off my face. My head shaved all different crazy ways because there was no licensed barbers back then. Yeah! Screaming and yelling, swinging my axe, picking up other people's swords and just destroying things. And then, when the battle's over, go back for the feast. The feast where everybody's crammed in those buildings and they're just ripping the meat off of whatever animal they might have cut up there that night and taking big bites of that juicy, slobbering meat. And get some big old glasses of the ale and just slamming that down and being a Viking. Yeah! How could someone not like that? Huh? How could someone not like that? That would be awesome. Bring it to us. Bring it to us in the game. Yeah! Awesome. How was that, huh? A lot of energy built up. All this staying at home, all this no phone calls to the show, lot of energy going on. All right, but here, let me get something real loud. Okay, hopefully this. I know I'm going to get cut off, so if I get cut off, I apologize. I know it's coming. Because I just had to get a lot off me. But anyway, I happened to turn on the radio today. I'm not much of a turn on the radio because usually it's all these car advertisements. Buy a car, buy a car. So I just...
And he got cut off. Geez, he got another achievement. Let me just check this out because I'm running a little tight on time here. Yeah. Well, Fred, I want to thank you for calling in, and I'm with you, man. I think we're both very excited for this game. I think Odyssey really let you live the life of somebody in mythological Greek times. One of my favorite memories from that was actually going into the ruins of Odysseus' palace. You actually do that in like the very early part of the game. And like he's already a mythological hero then, so it was kind of neat seeing that, and being able to walk around. I hope they balance it, just as well as they did with Odyssey, having the mythological elements, letting you live, the Viking lifestyle. I think they'll knock it out of the park because I think there is a lot of interest in Norse mythology lately, with God of War and the Vikings TV show. I think there's a lot of potential there. Yeah, any other thoughts there, Nick? If not, we'll move on to the wrap it up.
No, I think that covers it pretty well. Again, as always, like cinematic trailers are always fun, but I want to see now I want to see some gameplay. It's like, okay, what are they going to bring anything new? What kind of new dynamic are they bringing to the gameplay itself, and or what can we expect of kind of what the levels will look like?
Yep, no, I'm with you. I can't wait to see some gameplay, and I'm sure we will very soon. So,
for sure, I'm sure.
Awesome. All right, let's move on to wrap the show up. Conclusions, final thoughts, and shout-outs. Obviously, big... actually, I'll hand it up to you, Nick. Anything you want to promote? Anything you want to, do there?
So, shout out, I didn't mention it earlier. I forgot to mention it earlier, but doing Twitch watch parties now nice. On my Twitch channel, or going through the Expanse. So if you happen to have Twitch Prime, you can then join in on the Twitch watch party. It's kind of weird. It's kind of, I think that's how they get around the whole, like, you're not technically broadcasting if everyone has a license to be able to view it anyway. Yeah. But if you want to live vicariously, this is the first time me watching The Expanse, and I am so hooked right now.
Oh, isn't it great?
Oh, it's so good. I mean, we're about 5 episodes in right now. We're watching it every Monday. I'm watching about 2 or 3 episodes a night. Every Monday, rather. And this is the first time I've ever seen it. So, yeah, it's like, wow. I can't believe I have gone this long without actually seeing this series because I am hooked. It is awesome. It's very much like, it feels like the Star Citizen universe. So it's like right up my alley. And I can't wait to like see what happens. I think season 5 is just coming out now. So it's like, I got a lot of seasons to get through.
Oh, yeah. It's fantastic. I think it's the best sci-fi show right now.
Oh, hands down. Absolutely.
And that is Black Eagle Ops on Twitch. Go check it out. Monday nights, have a watch party.
Absolutely.
On my end, big shout out to the fans. Thank you, everybody that's always listening, retweeting us. Whenever we release an episode, we always really appreciate it. Big shout out to the fellas at Everyday Gamers. They've been finding their feet again. They did a great episode not too long ago, so I'm really happy to hear all them, all that crew back. They had some special guests on, the one I listened to from podcasts, other podcast stuff. Very, very well done. I really enjoyed it, guys, and I'm glad to see getting some more Everyday Gamers again. Big shout out to the Bad Fodder Figures, Mike and Matt and Eric, and obviously Jeremy, you'll always be a part of the crew. Hopefully we'll see you there soon. But yeah, they've been just knocking it out of the park lately, and just great episodes. And I just have to laugh a little bit. Matt, a few episodes back, finally realized the issues he was having with his PlayStation. I think we talked about this already, where like he would play for 3 hours and on the dot it would disconnect. And it turned out to be something with his wired connection. When he played it wireless, he no longer has the problem. But it was like this ongoing saga for years. And it just cracked me up. And it's like, oh, we don't get to laugh about that anymore. But yeah, they're a great show and just a really great bunch of guys. So check them out. They release every Monday morning. Shout out to Married to the Games. And finally, to Denny and the gang over at Tap the Craft, the craft brewing podcast. I really love those guys. And it's just always fun to hear, about different craft brews, and just he's very passionate about the subject and very knowledgeable too. So go check them out; they're fantastic. Finally, if you want to get in touch with us, we're on Facebook at The Save Point, tiny.cc/savepoint. It's a great place to hang out, talk video games, talk gaming news, and just a really great group of people. So please come on by and join up. You can email us, theretrorents@gmail.com. We're on Twitter at TheRetroRents. I'm at RetroRentsAl. Nick is at Black Eagle Ops. We're also the same name on Twitch, so go check us out there. And other than that, we'll wrap up the show. I mean, stay home, keep staying home, stay safe, stay healthy, and just be careful out there, folks. There's a lot about this thing we don't know yet, and it just seems to get scarier every day. So I'm just going to keep myself locked in the house. And but other than that, take care, have fun, play games, and don't be dicks.
Peace.
See ya. Oops.